Tell me, Ringo, how did it feel to you fellas to have suddenly made this tremendous impact in show business and these tremendous amount of fans and clamoring for you, stopping traffic, filling the streets? How does this whole thing feel to you?
Marvellous, you know. When you first start, you never think you'll go as big as, you know, we are now. You play around all the clubs and that, and, you know, you keep hoping, well, maybe we'll make a record or something. You just can't get over it, you know. We're not used to it at all yet. And, you know, we think it's fantastic. We love it.
Are you able to face your fans? Can you go out? Can you meet them?
Well, we can't go out and meet the fans who are around the theatre we're playing on. But, you know, that would be disastrous. There's too many of them.
Are you afraid of your fans?
Not really, no. I mean, the fans are all right. When there's just a few of them, but when they're a big crowd like that, you know, and they get too excited.
What do you think they'd do if they got hold of you?
I wouldn't like to say. You know, they try and get a piece of your jacket or whatever you're wearing at the time. But when there's a few thousand all grabbing, it's not much fun.
Have any of them ever succeeded in getting a piece of your jacket?
No, not really. Just buttons and things like that usually pull off in a crowd. But we've never been caught in a real big mob like that. You know, the police have usually organised it so that we get away in one piece.
Tell me, how did it feel to be invited to a Royal Command performance so soon after you made this tremendous impact in show business?
It was good, you know. I don't know, we wanted to do it, you know, but we were worried a bit about the crowd because they're not sort of teenagers, you know.
And can I ask, you spoke with the Queen Mother, did you?
Yes, we all had a talk.
Can I ask you what sort of comments she made to you about your performance?
She said, first of all, she thanked us a lot for doing the show, and, you know, which is a charity show, of course, and she asked us whether the audience had been better or worse than we'd expected, and which, you know, they were much better, actually, because we expected them just to sit there and frown at us, but, you know, they were marvellous.
How was the reaction of the actual audience, considering, I suppose, most of the audience were not, in fact, the fan club, but they were rather more showbiz people? How was their reaction to your performance?
It was marvellous, you know. We thought we got a good reception, and everybody we talked to later on thought we got a good reception too.
Tell me, how do the police look after you on these occasions?
Well, it's usually all organised so that when we arrive at a town, they usually meet us somewhere, and somewhere outside of the town, and they have it all planned. You know, they use different methods, but it's usually well organised so that we get in and out of the town as quick as possible. Which is usually much better because if there is a crowd likely to riot, then the more it's organised, then the less chance there is of anybody getting hurt. But us and the kids in the crowd.
Surely. Tell me, can I ask a very personal question? Before you were the Beatles, did you wear the same style haircut?
Yes.
Ringo, what sort of hairstyle did you have before you joined the Beatles?
Well, I kept changing it, you know. I've had it down before, and then I put it all back again, and just before I joined, I had a beard and big moth back and everything.
And what were you doing then?
I was playing at the holiday camp with another group.
And because this hairstyle is the sort of hallmark of the Beatles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from your music.
Yeah. We had this haircut for, well, we've had it for about 2.5 or 3 years now, 3 of us. And Ringo had one, he's had his about 18 months. But the thing is, we did have the haircut before all this, before we made records. It wasn't a sort of contrived idea. You know, we didn't think we'd have it, especially as a gimmick. That's all. we enjoy, hasn't it, like this?
Okay.
Who's asking the questions? Who? Go.
Down with the microphone and talk. Well, tell me, Paul, how would it feel being invited to, after your sudden tremendous success in show business, being invited to the Royal Command Performance?
That's great. We were very honoured. That's all, really. You know, we just excited and honoured.
The Queen Mother spoke to you.
Yeah.
Can I ask if there are any interesting little things you might have asked you or said to you?
Actually, she said, where are you playing tomorrow night? And we said, Slough. She said, oh, that's quite near us.
Really?
Quite good, yeah.
What about Princess Margaret or
Princess Margaret talked about a thing that we said in the papers the other day. We were talking about Slough again, and John very wittily said, Slough, Slough, quick, quick, Slough. Which she winced at. He said, yes, I read it.
She reads the evening.
John, what's your... John and Paul, what's your reaction to these fans? They're just fantastic. These huge crowds of fans that are following you now. How do you manage to go about? I mean,
But it's all organised for, you know, by police and everybody. We're flattered by the following.
Yeah, as far as that's concerned, yeah. The fact that people like us, it's lovely.
how do you go about meeting your fans?
We just sort of, how'd you do? Normally. But if we got...
You couldn't have come out into Coventry Street and said, how do you do last night?
Well, we didn't quite get the chance last night. But we can meet them through things like fan club get-togethers, one or two things like that.
Things like that.
But I think John agrees with me on this point. Is that true, John?
That is true, Paul. And tell me.
Yeah, it is a bit hard to meet them, but whenever we do get the chance, we say, how do you do?
Can I ask you a personal question? Before you became a group known as the Beatles, did you wear this same hairstyle?
Yeah.
What about you, John?
Yeah, so off and on, I used to change it a lot. You know, sometimes I'd have it cut and sometimes let it go like a lunatic. But, you know, I've had it off and on for 5 years.
Yeah. You should have seen me laugh.
What?
You'll think of a question in a minute.
Let's cut it a minute.
Okay. Cut. Well, it's my bit anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
come here.